Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to Show Me the Money Club. It's Tuesday, August 6th, and thank you for being here. As you guys can tell, I'm on my own. Why? Why is that? That's because my partner in crime, Chris, is on a well-deserved vacation before he has his third child. I think it's necessary, he's about to go into the eye of the hurricane. So welcome to Show Me the Money Club. I'm going to run it on my own today, flying solo. I think I can handle it. I think I did it once before when he was really sick. So we're going to turn this into. You guys put up the topics. I talk about it. If I know anything about it, we can talk about. We can turn this into a Q&A session. We'll just go with the flow. So I'm yours for the next, I don't know, hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, as long as it goes. So hello, everybody. Today, actually, there's one topic I want to talk about. As the title of the live stream goes, Uber earnings were great. How are yours? I mean, I do get, I don't know, thousands of emails, mostly complaining about earnings, but I will break down what Mr. Koshashai said during the conference call. I do listen to every single one of those conference calls. The other thing is the stock itself. It's a public company. You guys can buy and sell it like everybody else. You guys have a pretty good idea about what's going on out in the market, in your own market anyway. Stock was up 11% today to $65 a share. Now, granted, usually was as high as 80. It was down to under 60 a couple of days ago when the market was crashing. So talking about the markets, if you haven't figured it out yet, or you haven't caught any of my other content on my personal finance YouTube channel at Sergio Avedian on YouTube, please go subscribe. Great content there, great educational information about finance, about investing, about trading, about all kinds of things. But mostly, obviously, it's about educating you guys. So maybe, you guys can get off this hamster wheel. The other thing is, let me see who's in the chat. Chat's flying. I got to get used to that. I usually don't pay attention because we have topics, but today we don't have topics. So I'm definitely going to pay attention to the chat. Anyway, what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to talk about? Well, let me start by talking about Uber's earnings today. So as a public company, this was their second quarter of 2024. Came out at 5 a.m. Everything is going great. Uber is firing in all cylinders. They're not seeing a recession. Demand is extremely strong, still growing about mid teens. Supply is the most they have ever seen. Obviously, supply is you guys, the drivers. They have more supply than they know. Average pickup ETAs, estimated time to pick up is about 5 minutes or less in most major cities. So that means one thing and only, which is you guys are not listening to us on Show Me the Money Club, which is, don't accept garbage, right? Decline garbage, know your worth. It seems like our crowd here, is a veteran crowd, and they do decline their share. They want to be profitable themselves, but it doesn't seem like that's going on with the rest of it. As big as our channel is, our reach is, I don't know, a couple 100,000, subscribers out of 3-4 million drivers in the US. What is that? That's nothing. But this is where you all come in, though. You have all your, driver communities. You need to go start educating these people. But then, what is there to do? I mean, people are out there to try to make some money. And most of you I know do cherry pick, but it may be the end of cherry picking. Is it? I'm not sure. But still, declining garbage and knowing your worth is probably one of the most important things that you guys can do for yourselves. Because there is no point in, driving your body and your vehicle into a pulp. I mean, look, there are some people out there who get out there with a daily dollar goal. They're doing it super part-time. They want to make a couple $100 a week. I get it. They have to accept everything to make the dollars and go home. But the other thing is most of our crowd seems to be full-time drivers. I said this for months now. This is not a career. This is not something that could be sustainable as is anyway. under the circumstances that it exists as a full-time job or full-time gig. If you're doing it full-time, God bless you, God help you. Please have a dash cam. More importantly, look out for your own safety. I'm going to take a look at the chat before I get into the Uber's earnings. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this one up. Keep cherry picking, he will just keep flooding the market. Well, I don't think they go hand in hand, Jeff, but we'll hit a lot of these comments and questions today, unlike most shows, because we have a scripted topics that I talk about. So Uber's earnings. Uber earnings were excellent. They are not seeing a slowdown. In fact, they said, the Dara Khosrowshahi runs the conference call with analysts. He said, average utilized, now you guys I'm the messenger, don't shoot me. Average utilized nationwide per hour earnings, called EPUH, earnings per utilized hour. Now, by now, you guys should know what utilized hour is. Utilized hour, in most instances, or booked hour, or there's online hour, and there is utilized hour, or there is active hour, right? That's period 2 and period 3. So period 2 is you actually have accepted a trip on your way to the passenger, and you go pick the passenger up, and you're on your way to the final destination. So what Uber mentioned is that earnings are at $33 per utilized hour, per active hour. Now, you're going to say, well, I'm not making that. Well, you probably are making that. The reason I'm saying that is because it's not per online hour. Uber looks at it. Uber does not look at the metric of online hour. Most of us, we figure, okay, we're doing this, we're out there for 10 hours, even if we're multi-apping, right? We look at online hour. How many hours am I out there? What am I doing in my car? I'm not watching YouTube, right? Preferably you'd be watching us. But my point is, these rideshare companies don't look at that metric. They look at the metric of active hour or utilized hour. So you all are earning about 33 now per active hour, according to Dara Khosrowshahi. A couple other things that hit me in the earnings report was that the adoption of autonomous vehicles into the platform, as you guys know, they have a relationship with Waymo, specifically in Arizona, in Phoenix area. They're saying they are seeing 5 times the growth of Uber passengers ordering Waymos on the platform, as opposed to ordering cars driven by humans. So that's also obviously adding to not only oversaturation, but then your utilization rate. Utilization rate is, if you add all your period 2 and period 3, right, and divide that into your online hour, that's utilized hour. We call it UR. What is the utilized hour, right? Nobody obviously asked him that question. I would have asked him that question. You can say easily $33 per utilized hour nationwide. Okay, I get it. So let me give you guys an example how that works. If you are not in period, so there's 3 periods in a rideshare trip, actually 4. Period 0 is you have your app off, you're driving, picking up your kids, going to the doctor's appointment, whatever. Period 1 is the second you turn your app on, you're on period 1, meaning you're open to accept requests. Period 2 is you have accepted a request from Uber and you're on your way to pick up the passenger. And period 3 is with a butt in the back seat, you're going to the final destination. Okay. So how do you factor your personal utilization rate? Okay. It's pretty simple. So what you do is you collect, or you add your P2, as we call it, and P3, you add them up. And then you take your online hour. Online hour is on the app. It tells you, okay, you've been online for 10 hours, let's say, make it simple. But then your P2 and P3 utilized hour, meaning while you're actively going to passengers and picking them up and dropping them off, let's say, is half that 10 hours. So that means your personal utilization rate is going to be 50%, right? Okay. While Uber announces the driver earnings nationwide with active or utilized hours, so 50% of 33 is $16.50, right? Makes sense? Now, the higher your utilization rate, the closer you will be to that 33 per active hour. So who are those people? Those people are the people like that we love, like Jeff in Charleston or Myrtle Beach. He accepts every single trip. So his utilization rate, one after the other and after the other, he's always in either P2 or P3. He's never cherry picking. He's not, doing anything else. So his utilization rate is probably as close to 100% as it can be. But most of you, if you decline 1 trip, 2 trips, 3 trips, well, how much of that 60 minutes, right, are you on P2 and P3? So I would urge all of you to do this. I mean, it's, do it for a week to figure out before you go crazy and say, oh, I'm not making $33 an hour. I'm like, Uber is not telling you you're making 33 per hour. They're saying you're making 33 per active hour, which includes incentives, whatever there are these days. There aren't much left, which includes surge, whatever that is these days. Like in LA, there isn't much surge left, and also tips. Okay. So their number is 33 an hour, including all these things. So once you figure out your own personal utilization rate, let's say you do cherry pick, you decline a few here and there, maybe your utilization are as close to 100%, the super duper. If you guys can hear me and see me, please, in the chat. No? Shit. Did I get cut off? Can somebody put a thumbs up in the chat? It seems like it, but can you guys put a thumbs up? Okay, well, I'm going to continue. So utilize the hour. So figure this out, please. So, and then tell me if you guys are, getting that 33. You should be, because their numbers are pretty good. I mean, their numbers are pretty solid. Again, utilized hour is P2, P3, and include incentives and tips, meaning if you have a quest, if you have surge on a trip. So we have a lot of drivers who do cherry pick, right? So, I mean, in my mind, right, it's quality over quantity. It's always been that way. But then when there are no cherries to pick, what are we supposed to do? We're just out there, watching YouTube in the car. That's why we recommend that you have both apps on, Uber and Lyft. And if you're doing other things such as DoorDash and Curry and Instacart and whatever not, that's why multi-apping is key. So let's say your utilization rate on Uber is 50%. Okay. Well, you want to fill up the rest of the 50%, the rest of the hour doing something, as opposed to just watching YouTube or, texting or doing whatever you're doing. So my point is, try to be active as many minutes of that 60 minutes that you're out there trying to earn a living. So, so Uber said that. The other thing Uber said that was interesting is that AVs, the autonomous vehicles that we are all dreading, these Waymos and Cruises and other ones, they are in talks with many different autonomous vehicle companies. And they're saying, they're going to put as many out there. And they're saying that actually the utilization rate on the autonomous vehicles is a lot higher because they don't cherry pick, right? They don't decline trips. If it's a $3, 5-mile trip, autonomous vehicle is going to go do it. But then the costs are astronomical when it comes to autonomous vehicles because, they own the cars. And when I say they, Waymo owns the cars. Each Waymo, right, is like, I don't know, a couple $100,000 these days. To scale up to get to replace all of us is not going to be possible in my lifetime anyway, or as long as I'm at RSG. So my point is, people are definitely ordering through the app more Waymos. That's what he said. The other thing that he said is that, supply is at the highest ever, close to 7 million drivers globally, active drivers. And the last thing that caught my eye is that, according to Uber, again, these are, okay, by the way, this is all public information. I'm not some guy that just goes, digs these things out. All you have to do is go to the Uber website, Uber Investor Relations. The conference call is in there. Everybody is free to listen. I mean, I do listen to each one, like Lyft's is tomorrow, which I'm going to listen as well. We'll talk about that next week. The other thing is, when you guys, listen to this, most of it is not going to make sense. So that's where I come in. So you guys can email me and ask me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Hey, I'll listen to the conference call, maybe I want to buy Uber stock. I mean, look, you can be a shareholder just like anybody else. And I know you guys may not like the company, but investing versus, driving is completely two different things. Well, might as well benefit from the misery of the drivers, I guess. I don't know if you want to be a shareholder. Now, the last thing he said, well, it stuck with me, was that we all know what's happening with our quests, right? Quests have been drastically reduced, if not completely eliminated. And then if we do get quests, it'll be like 50 trips for $20 or some ridiculous thing, for like 40 cents a piece or whatever. And, I mean, compared to what it was, that's where the cuts have come in. When drivers are telling me that they're making less money per trip, they're probably not making less money with upfront fares if you compared it to the old days of the rate card. But what they're making less money in is, number one, quests, incentives. They have disappeared. In certain weeks, incentives for me personally used to be close to 40% of my earnings, right? Quests and boost and surge and all that stuff. So when those are gone, automatically your earnings are going to go down. I mean, there is no ifs and buts about that. A lot of drivers, because I do make the distinction between upfront fares, because there is no rate card with upfront fares, although not everybody has upfront fares around the country, but I would say 80% of the country is on upfront fares. You're seeing the destination and you're seeing the price of the trip, which was completely different from what we used to have, which was having a rate card, like a cab meter, right? 60 cents, like mine. My last one before upfront fares was 60 cents a mile and 21 cents a minute in LA. Okay. So with that said, Dara Khosrowshahi said that driver earnings in aggregate, in total, okay, were $16.9 billion. So that went into your pockets. Now, one thing that I need to make you guys understand, if you go bother yourself reading the earnings report, which is on the Uber Investor Relations, is that we all complain about what take rate, right? Uber is taking a lot more than before, and they're taking 50%, 60%. I agree with you guys that they're taking more, but what they're doing is that they're saying, what drives me nuts is that they go like, we'll just take a constant 20%. Yeah, but constant 20% is after they take out all their expenses, right? Well, so to me, that's hocus pocus. It doesn't make sense. Like if a rider is paying 100 and you're getting paid 50, what is the take rate? It's 50%. It's pretty simple to me. But Uber goes, no. We have to take the commercial insurance. We have to have the pass-throughs, credit card fees, airport fees, this and that. When we take those all out, whatever is left over as the service charge or service fee is only 20%. Well, that number has gone up to now 29%. So how's that happening? So there's two items in that earnings report. One is called gross bookings. Gross booking is all the money that's coming in. And then there is something called revenue, right? Revenue is after you take out the driver pay is what they're left with. So they replaced that now. They replaced the take rate with this revenue model now. On mobility, gross bookings are growing at 10%, but revenue is growing at 17%, right? So what does that mean? That means the drivers are making less money. It's pretty evident. I mean, for anybody who understands finance or can read an earnings report, it's pretty clear to me. But then, they shuffle words around. And again, you guys have to understand, when you listen to these analyst calls, there are a bunch of analysts who care about one thing and one thing only. They don't care about the driver. They don't care about anything except the stock going up, right? So to me, the right questions are not asked, but then, nobody gives a hoot about the driver anyway, the people who are actually doing the work. So, but please go, listen to it, show some interest. If you don't understand it, shoot me an email. I'll explain it to you, what it looks like. So Uber put in drivers' pockets $16.9 billion in just single quarter. This is all drivers, global, okay? $16.9 billion went into the economy. That's a lot of money. So the good, the bad, the ugly is that, they have created this amazing marketplace, okay? Meaning you can turn your app on pretty much anywhere, and then you'll get a request, either delivery request now, or, the new verticals are going through the roof, according to them, which is, grocery delivery, food delivery, package delivery, and rideshare, obviously. And the business is about 60-40 these days, 60% rideshare, 40% delivery. Both sides are growing mid double digits. I mean, mid-teens, okay? Still growing. And last quarter, they did 2.8 billion trips with a B, not dollars worth. Okay. 2.8 billion trips. I mean, think about it. Now, if you take 2.8 billion trips into 3-month period, it comes to more than 1.1 million trips per hour, every hour. This is the marketplace these people have built. Okay, you have to respect that part. The marketplace is also, putting $16.9 billion into the pockets of drivers. Look, this negative is negative, positive is positive. If, you guys were not driving, right? I mean, how would you make money? I'm pretty sure some of you are retired, some of you are doing it part-time, whatever. But there is money going into the economy somehow, okay? $16.9 billion. Now, is it enough? Has it gone up? Keeping pace with inflation, all that good stuff. No. In fact, if Jeff is here, if he's watching from South Carolina, I'm going to invite him to do a crossfire debate with me, because Jeff is in the opinion that he's making the same amount of money with upfront fares as he was making 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? Now, invitation open, Jeff. I'm going to definitely have to teach you some numbers on this one. And I'm pretty sure we'll do this debate and put it up there. What he's missing is that there's two parts of this. So if I was making or grossing, let's not say making, $1,000, right, 3 years ago, a week, grossing 1,000. What has happened to that $1,000, and how much of that $1,000 is revenue? Now I have to take my costs out, right? What has happened to each one of your costs going back 3 years, 2 years, 1 year with inflation? We know, according to the US government, the government says car maintenance inflation has run close to 40%. That includes depreciation, obviously, that includes maintenance and tires and brakes and oil changes and transmissions and whatever. It's gone up 40%. That includes insurance as well. And we know what's happening to our personal insurance. So if it's gone up 40% in the last 3 years, okay, that's one whammy. Second whammy, what's that? No more quests, no more incentive. Pandemic times, I used to get quests like 100 trips for $600, which means $6 on each trip. Now we're getting 20 cents at a time, right? So that's decreased, okay? So that's the second whammy. Number 3 is oversaturation. That's the third whammy. Oversaturation meaning we know what's happening with illegal accounts. They're all over the place driving, right, by the millions. And what does that do? That reduces surge. So that's also automatically reducing your earnings. So according to what I'm thinking, has your earnings kept pace with inflation? Number one. So if I was grossing 3 years ago $1,000 a week, driving 40 hours. Today, if we drove 40 hours and still make the $1,000 or gross the $1,000 within the same 40 hours, is that the same thing? To me, it's not. I should be making or grossing $1,400, but gone up by 40%. That's a fact. That's the government numbers, and I'm pretty sure it's actually more than that. And I'm not including our regular life expenses into that. What happened to our rents? What has happened to our food? What has happened to our insurances? I'm not even including that in there. But let's just say if I was grossing 1,000 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and upfront fares comes around, and then now I'm still grossing the 1,000, I'm at a loss. 40% gone. Now that 1,000 3 years ago included incentives and tips. Well, today there are no incentives. So in order to do the 1,000 today, I have to probably drive, instead of 40 hours, I have to probably drive 50 hours. Okay, so we're driving more to earn the same thing. So we're eating the 3 whammies here. We're eating the inflation whammy. We're getting hit by the no more incentives whammy, and the number 3, oversaturation, which has killed surge, right? Surge is the bread and butter of the driver. For Uber and the rider, it's great. They don't like surge because the fares have to go higher, and the riders don't like surge, but drivers love surge. Especially if you're cherry picking in a surge area, if you know what you're doing, you can run laps around that $33 per utilized hour. So open invitation, Jeff. So that was the earnings report. I mean, look, they put in $16.9 billion into pockets of drivers. That's look, at some point you have to respect that. That's a lot of dough. So if you multiply that times 4, close to 70, well, let's say 17, that's 40, 28, 68, $70 billion is going into drivers' pockets, billion with a B. And that goes into the economy that makes us pay our bills. However, should the earnings have gone up, keeping pace with inflation? Of course, but now we can't do that because why? Uber controls both sides of the marketplace that they have created. This marketplace consists of two sides. One side is the rider, one side is the driver. That's a two-sided marketplace. On deliveries, it's a three-sided marketplace. The three-sided marketplace is you have the food, the consumer, you have the driver, and you have the restaurant, right? And Uber is collecting from each one of these people. And on rideshare is two-sided marketplace, which is the rider and the driver, okay? So how does Uber make money? Well, Uber makes money by charging as much as they can and controlling the cost. Cost is the driver, by paying as little as they can. That's the way, and that's the take rate. That's the revenue now, gross revenue that they call it. And so with elasticity, they have their algorithms are so good these days that they can charge as much as they can and pay as little as they can because they know the habits of the rider. They know who can pay more for the exact same trip. And then they know who's going to accept the garbage, and the drivers will take it. I mean, that's what it is. But my point in all of this is try to make sense out of it, right? As a finance guy, is this: I have no control as a driver, right, to name the price of the trip. I have no control. As much as Uber says we're independent contractors, okay? Tell me, I'm going to look at the chat because it's flying. I'm just kind of catching it with the corner of my eye, but I'm going to get to questions, so don't worry. I'm going to go one by one. So I'm going to be here probably forever today. Chris, I hate you. You're probably like in Vermont eating some lobster, and then I'm like suffering here. No, man, this is my pleasure doing it actually on my own. I think I'm enjoying this. So here's the deal. If I'm not making 40% more than 3 years ago, how am I doing it? How am I surviving? It's not easy, is it? Right? This is what these companies don't understand. That's one. The second thing is we have no control in this business. As much as we are independent contractors, I have a lot of friends who are electricians, who are plumbers, one great friend of mine is an air conditioning contractor, okay? So as a true independent contractor, what do? Right? You go to a job site or somebody calls you. They say, I have a job for you. You go, okay. You go, look at the job, look at the house, what it is, what you need to fix, and you give them a bid. Now, they may be getting bids from 4, 5, 6 different air conditioning contractors, right? Somebody is going to get the job done. It's a fact. But what happened in that case? The independent contractor bid on a job. We don't bid on a job. We can't. Because there is not a way on the planet I would do a trip for what Uber's algorithms are pricing it at. So that's where the misunderstanding is coming in, right? It's not a misunderstanding. I have no control. As much as they say, yeah, it's flexible, yeah, it's freedom, turn the app on and go to whatever. It's not. Because if I was doing rideshare trips these days, just considering the 40% inflation that we have experienced over the last 3-4 years on our cars and maintenance, I would price that trip 40% higher just to keep pace with inflation. I'm not even talking about rents going up and healthcare going up and all that stuff. As independent contractors, we're responsible for all that stuff, right? So that hasn't gone up, right? I have no control. But as my air conditioning buddy says, his raw material prices have gone through the roof. We know copper prices, pipes, this, that, right? Or the units of air conditioning. What does he do? When he goes there, he bids accordingly. You think he puts the same bid to install a 4-ton air conditioning unit as he was 3 years ago? Absolutely not. He has to double pretty much of what he was charging 3 years ago just to keep his margin the same. So what has happened to the driver, right? Since we cannot call the shots, okay, because the price is done in an algorithm and sent to us under upfront fares, what happens? We have no choice, buddy, except what they're sending you. So this independent contractor fallacy is a complete and utter bullshit as far as I'm concerned, because I am not controlling what I make, what I can make, what I can earn, because there's no chance on the planet I would do the exact same trip 3 years ago for $10. I would still do it for $10 today. I won't. But Uber will not, increase what they're paying you. They have not increased what they're paying you, because this is also all in the earnings reports. You know, they go 33 per active hour. I'm like, yeah, but what if I'm sitting half the time? With oversaturation, utilization rates are collapsing. I mean, it's not as high, right? What if I'm not busy? I'm not busy for 50% of that 60 minutes. Then what? Then 33 looks like 16 and a half before expenses, and those expenses have gone up 40%. So now we're trying to make sense of all of this, right? So yeah, earnings were great. Stock went up 11% to 65 from 58. Lyft's earnings tomorrow. I'll talk about that next week. The other thing is, yeah, I mean, according to Uber, great. To the rider, great. To the driver, I'm not sure, not so much. But I do know there are a lot of people in the chat who do make decent money because they do cherry pick. And then I'm going to go to the top and start looking at some questions. I know you guys can put the questions in there. So let's do some Q&A. And then if there's any topics you guys want me to talk about, I will definitely talk about that. There was one email that I received about Proposition 22. Proposition 22 is a California thing. It was found to be constitutional, so business as usual. So Craig Erlandson says, being a driver for over 4 years, I work the exact same hours and the same miles every day, and my income is down 30% from last year and down 50% from 4 years ago. There you go. I didn't make this. I'm going to go through each one of these. There you go. That's, I mean, even if he was working the same hours and same miles every day, his income is down 30% because he's making the same amount of money, but his costs have gone up 40%. And that's where the number is at. The other number that's not hidden in there is not a cryptic message, is that he has no more incentives and he has very little surge. The demand's still there. The demand is constant. I mean, people are still using Ubers right and left. Excuse me. So I believe that. So this is Jeff from Florida. Have an awesome show. Thank you. Just spoke to Dara. I spoke to Dara. He said keep cherry picking and he will just keep flooding. Well, flooding the marketplace is not something they do, although there is a point to that. When they talked about it during the earnings conference call, he said that there are more drivers than ever driving. Believe it or not, unemployment started going up. And as you guys know, if you watch me on my other YouTube channel, finance channel, please go subscribe. I have amazing stuff there. I really do. I mean, if nothing else, you guys will be educated about the macroeconomy, microeconomy, because I know that stuff 10 times more than I know this stuff. So what Dara was saying is that one of the reasons is that unemployment is going up. When unemployment goes up, what happens, right? Barriers to entry is easy. You get laid off. What's the easiest thing you can do to survive? Drive Uber. Right? You just upload some documents, you get a watered down background check done, and you're on the system and you're earning something. Nobody's saying you're profitable, but you need to survive. You need to buy food, you need to pay your rent. You're late on all this stuff. Well, you go out and drive. Barriers to entry is super easy, right? And that's adding to oversaturation, and that's lowering the utilization rate that, we talked about at the start of the show. So, it's not some CPU to re-strategize. Is CPU, by the way, is Cherry Pickers United, which I'm the president of. But look, cherry picking is fine. I've always said quality over quantity. There are a lot of drivers who are doing extremely well in certain cities, and not in LA so much, but then unfortunately that's where we are. Craig, said he lied to himself. I guess he's talking about DK, Dara. He lied to employees. No, I mean, look, he didn't lie. If when they were going public. Okay, I'm not defending this guy. I've been trying to get this guy on the show for the last fucking year. It doesn't look like he's going to come because he knows I'm going to hammer his ass. If you're watching, I know they do. I know Uber watches everyone. They take screenshots and things like that. I know whoever is watching, send Mr. Krishna an email. He was very smooth at the earnings conference call today, as usually he is. Open invitation. Come talk to us. Come talk to real drivers, not some bunch of analysts who are only interested in the stock going up. He lied. Well, look, he didn't lie. He didn't lie to himself. He just cashed out another 500,000 shares of stock options. So I don't think he did. He didn't lie to shareholders. Shareholders are doing fine. Stock was 23, now it's 60. Was as high as 80. Lying to the public to a point. Definitely lied to drivers. So yeah, I mean, part of it is true. Part of it is not. Queen Brown, I think that's Lynn. Welcome to the show. This is with sad to say that Michael Duva was deactivated. And there's not much I can do. I have no powers for reactivation, so please don't send me emails. I have other stuff I can do, but not this case. Sergio, it's been a pleasure listening to you. What do you mean? You're quitting? You're not going to listen because you don't drive anymore? Come on now, man. Best of luck to you. I'm sure he's a survivor. He will survive. Another week. Okay. See, I like this. Another week, no rides for either company. What does that mean? Come on now. There are rides out there, which means I lost 0 to their pathetic upfront fares. 35 days since the last ride, only 2 rides. Okay. Well, that's your choice. Let's see. Todd F, how's it going? Greetings, everyone. Okay, my pay is shit, says Chris Coffin. Okay. Mr. Gambit, my head of Cherry Pickers United in Los Angeles, top sniper of Surge and hidden Surge trips in LA. This is the guy right here. Uber's 25 festival fee for SoFi last weekend did not work. Of course it doesn't. You know how many times we've been through that, Mr. Gambit? Send me an email. I'll forward your email, and then I'm pretty sure you'll get your money. This is what he's talking about. You know, they put that geofenced area. If you pick up in that zone, you get an extra 25, or you get 10 from football games or baseball games or whatever, or events, concerts, whatever. You know, what they do is they announce it in your app, saying, "Oh, go do work at those hours. Pick up some of our riders from those concerts and this and that." But then what they do is they go, "We're going to pay you $10 extra." You do the trip, and then it doesn't show. And then now you have to go chase your tail with black hole support. So if you didn't get it, please send me an email. I'll get it fixed. Ginger says, are people still, not that I know of. Dan Brown, need better pay. How about that? Yes, I agree. Yeah, that's a good question. How to cherry pick and still try to go for the quarter reward? I don't know. The quarter reward is for one time. Please don't do it over and over. You know, we got you guys the money last time. A lot of people fell for it and keep doing it. The quarter reward is only one time, one single time. Joe Wilson, don't do it again, and don't email me if you do fall into that trap. Yeah, to a point. They don't talk about that though. There you go. See, this is it. This is where rideshare is these days, people. This is it right here, right here. This is it. BGG grooming reviews. Hey, is that Tony? Is that Mr. Beard? I guess so. I do it part-time to make some extra money. Yep. If I know you are full-time. So if this is Tony, shoot me an email. Give me some updates. Yeah, this is where rideshare is these days. You know where rideshare first started, guys? What was Uber's slogan? You guys remember any of it? I do. It was put your side hustle on. That's where it's at these days. You got to go hit the busiest hours when demand is high, weekends. You got to hit certain hours. In my day, 2016, man, I could turn the app on at 3 in the morning. It'd be surging. I'll be making $40, $50 an hour. Okay. It's not the same anymore. Those days are not going to come back. You have to have a reality chat with yourselves. You have to have a talk with yourselves. I mean, why are you stuck in this game, right? Isn't there something else you can do at all? For some people, that's true. There are some people who cannot do anything but this. But then if you do have any choice, right, I would highly recommend that you guys educate yourselves, do something extra, something different, because this is becoming a very difficult thing to do these days. If you're going to go out there and accept every trip and do it the way Uber and Lyft want you to do it, then you can probably gross about 22, 23 per online hour. I'm not talking active hour. And then take your expenses. Most cars run about $67, $6 or $7 per hour expenses. EV is a little bit less, but still $5 an hour. You're at minimum wage in LA. So you want to keep doing it, knock yourselves out. Brian Orlando says cherry picking. See, Jeff, there are still people cherry picking. Well, this is a great question. Don Brown, I'm full-time with it, but is it worth it? Well, I've done so many videos about talking to you guys, you know, from the heart. Okay. Ask yourself that, right? First of all, do you know your numbers? Okay. Do you know your cost per mile? Do you know what it's costing you every hour that you're out there? Okay. There'll be good times, bad times, but on average, if you're grossing $25 an hour, and if 6 or 7 is going to expenses, which it is in most cases, like my car, $6, $7, Maybe if you're driving a 10-year-old Prius, maybe it's $4, but still there's a cost, right? There is two kinds of costs: variable costs, fixed costs. Variable costs are gas, obviously, insurance rates, right? Fixed cost, maintenance, depreciation, tires and brakes, and all that is fixed costs, although those costs have gone up 40%, 50% last 3-4 years. You have to have an honest chat with yourself, Don. Why are you out there? Can you do something more? Can you do something better or something equal and make more money? Because flexibility and freedom, I cannot send that to my bank for the mortgage this month. Okay, I cannot say, I'm just this month, I'm just going to send you flexibility and freedom dollars for you. It doesn't work. Card bills are showing up. Department of Water, bills are showing up. We're responsible for our, everything, right? Health insurance, and most of you I know, are probably in some sort of government program. But all I'm saying to you guys is that you have to have this chat with yourself, reality check, right? I mean, or you're going to exchange flexibility for making less than minimum wage, which is fine for some people, no problem. David Nichols says my weekly lift goal is $1. Okay, that's funny. Lelius, what's up? Happy Ant equals money happy. Okay, whatever. No, I don't know about that. Okay, PGG, the Wridz, yeah. So for whoever is in LA, I'm going to have news for you guys next week. So we announced Y-Ride in San Francisco. 2,000 drivers signed up so far. Soft launch. That was a soft launch. Y-Ride is about to come to LA, and then I'm going to hand select 20, 30 drivers, including myself, and then let's test this market. It's a California company. I think it's going to do well. Yeah, I don't know. Wridz is another company that has their heart and mind in the right place. Yes, I do both. That's BS. I don't know what's BS. Be more specific, please. Utilize hour wage means absolutely nothing in rideshare. They probably put it out. It's constantly. I don't talk about utilize hour, Jeff. I talk about online hour. I mean, I know they listen, but I don't think they listen to me. Utilize hour is what they've been using forever, right? Because it fits their bill. But then the lack of okay. You can say $33 per utilized hour. And I'm pretty sure most of you are making $33 per utilized hour. Okay. However, if you're only utilized 50% of the hour, you're not making 33. You're grossing 16 and a half, right? So that's why I said at the start, go figure out your personal utilization rate. Because I've asked this to Uber. I go, what is the national utilization rate? What is it? They go, no, take a hike. We're not going to tell you that. Well, then go F yourself, Uber. Because you can say 33 until you're blue in the face. But if you don't tell me what the utilized hour is, like what the percentage of utilization is nationwide, the Uber knows the city by city, state by state. They know all these numbers. They have more data on me and you than anybody on the planet. But they don't tell you. They just go, 33 per utilized hour. I'm like, okay, whatever. So Todd F says my active hour time is north of 60 most days. There you go. See, this guy's making 60 as opposed to 33. Now we go now, which translates into 24-hour door-to-door time. This is amazing, Todd. I know Todd personally. Actually, I did a very popular behind the wheel with him from Cape Cod. So this is fantastic. So his active hour or utilized hour is $60. But that means his door-to-door hour, which is the most honest way. By the way, there's like 3-4 different metrics you can look at. Dollars per mile, obviously, is important. Door-to-door hours, online hours, active hours, or utilized hours. Those are all metrics that you need to pay attention to. Look at this as a business, right? So which translates into $25 an hour gross, by the way. That's gross. That's before expenses. Door-to-door time most days this summer due to driver oversaturation near Cape Cod. Okay, see, this is perfect. That means if his active hour is 60 and online hour or door-to-door hour is 25, that's less than half. That means his utilization rate, personal utilization rate, is about 45%. Get it? Do this. Figure that out. Great comment. Waymo operating 24 hours in LA. Yeah, okay, cool. I've been into 5 of them. Good point, Sergio. Thank you, William. Another unjustly deactivated driver. Can Waymo drive on freeways? No, not yet, William. There's regulatory pressure. Although they did just expand in Los Angeles, they had a geofenced area. I've taken 4 or 5 of them. Here's the problem with Waymo's people. People think it's like, first of all, it drives wonderfully. Okay, it drives as good as me or better. But this is the problem. Autonomous vehicles are not. Their software is set up in a way that they cannot break the law. You all, including me, we break the law all the time. How do we break the law? We go to the pickup. It's at a bus stop. We go to the pickup. It's next to a fire hydrant. We have to double park at bar hours to go pick these people up. Waymo will never do that. Waymo doesn't do that because the software is written in a way that they cannot break the law. They can, or they will not go pick you up at red. They just can't. They won't. That's the way the software is written. So every time I've taken a Waymo in LA last, I don't know, 6 months, 5 months since they became commercially available, here was my problem. I would order the Waymo because they only have a couple hundred cars, so I would wait like 10 minutes for the car. Then the app would say, well, Sergio, you have to walk like 5 minutes to the pickup point. I'm going like, bro, I'm standing right here. If I order an Uber, right, we're going to break the law, whatever it is. The driver is going to come pick me up right at my pin. Waymo doesn't do that. You have to walk like 3, 4, 5 minutes sometimes to the pickup point. That's half the story. Then you get in the car, beautifully smelling car, brand new Jaguar, leather, smells good, everything is good. Drives beautifully, okay? Now, you go get dropped off. Well, it cannot drop you off anywhere you want either. Although, you have picked up, you have put into the app, okay, pick me up here. It goes, no, you have to walk here to get picked up. I'm like, okay. And then, after your drop-off, the app goes, well, now you have to walk like 3 minutes to your destination. I'm like, what is that? I want to get picked up where I'm standing, and I want to get dropped off right in front of the restaurant or wherever I'm going. It doesn't do that, people. So when you guys think all this Waymo get all in a tizzy, it's not what you guys think it is. I mean, seriously. Abishi Alja says, just quit, guys. It's not worth it anymore. Get new jobs. Okay, sounds good to me. I hope you're following your own advice, sir. LFG, I don't know what that is. Lyft new cancellation rate. Yeah, I'm working on that. A lot of people lost their, what do you call that? Platinum or whatever, because Lyft has a massive issues with the app. The cancellation rate is not correct. Some people are not even driving Lyft and their cancellation rate's going up. I'm like, Lyft, are you watching? You know, we have a talk on Thursday. Please, can we fix this? I mean, you have a billion people working there, supposedly. It's not a big deal, man. Yes, I have internet issues, but I think they're fixed. I hear you, Sergio, you're back. Okay, here we go. Charles Lee says, so I'm trying to spread the love. I typically drive with Uber part-time while I work at my, this is it right here. This is it. This is what rideshare is good for right there. Right there. Rideshare is a good side hustle these days. The guy has a W-2 job. He has probably healthcare. He's working a regular job on the weekends, knocks out, 20, 30 trips, maybe 10, 15 hours, couple $100, $300 a weekend. That's an extra, 12, 1500 a month or whatever, 1,000 a month, 12,000 a year. It covers up some holes because unlike the old W-2 jobs, they also have not kept pace with inflation. Okay, let's put the finance hat back on. In a W-2, is anybody making 40% more? Because inflation in this country last 4 years is close to 40% in everything we buy, from Costco, from food, from insurances, from rents, from everything. Well, has your W-2 income gone up 40%? Hell no, right? So everybody's suffering this inflation problem, not just rideshare drivers. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay, so I'm way back here. Hold on a second. Much higher in active area. I'm good. Okay. Benjamin Rodriguez says, I work in Los Angeles the morning and I drive night Uber. Great. See, another part-timer. This is what it is. This is what is rideshare for these days. Put your side hustle on, go make a couple $100, $300 a week. Pay some bills, do whatever you need to do, but don't kill yourself for Uber or Lyft. I don't see Surge. Okay, there you go. We talked about that. I don't see Surge. Charles Lee says challenges or bonuses in my exactly. They cut the incentives. And because of oversaturation, they have plenty of supply. There is no surge. All I see is gray clouds on Uber. Exactly. Empty map on Lyft. Not worth my time dealing with trash offers. There you go. It's about 22 in Atlanta market. Life of Richard says 22 online hour. I hope that's online hour. If that's active hour, we're screwed. Yeah, only a few selected markets will ever allow self-driving car. No, it's getting out there. Okay. Pat McD says, I got deactivated on Friday. They said for multiple violations of the community policy, but they never told me what dates for policy changes. It took 4 years. Okay. You need to go into the app and you need to go through a human review process, which is pretty decent these days. Please do that. That's your best chance or only chance probably to get back on the system. Yeah, Orlando is one of the most horrible markets on the country. Brian, Orlando is in Orlando. You're lucky if you pull in 1518. I hope that's online hour before expenses. Sergio Lifted deactivated me 2 times now. Okay. They won't say why. No, they will not tell you why, but they will go through a review process. It's probably because cherry pick. No, they will not do that. However, they have problems with high cancellation rates. It's their problem. So, yeah, no, they will not deactivate you for cherry picking. They cannot. It's against the law. I know you're in Santa Barbara. It's California, Prop 22. It's against the law. It's against their TOS. Go read the TOS. It says you can decline all you want as independent contractors. All TOS is terms of service. You can also, but they do pay attention cancellation rates. So do not accept. If you accept, please finish the trip. Don't keep accepting and canceling. Brandon says, how are they charging 40 to 55 for a reservation and offering us 7 to 9? Yep. Okay. We used to get 25 minimum on all. Well, that's not true. Okay. Let's not exaggerate that. If they're charging 40 to 55 for reservations and offering is 7 to 9, I don't think that's correct. Well, ethically, it's not correct. Financially, it's not correct. But also, I don't think that's correct. I don't think they're paying you only 7 to 9, charging 40 to 55. Yes, New York State has the $26 per active hour guarantee. Don't fall for it. Okay, they do have that. SB Rides 805 Lyft may have an issue. Yes, it's not your AR. Exactly, Mike Smith. Bingo. Illegal driver accounts hurt everyone. Yes, Craig Erlinson, 100% true. What about the recession whammy? Well, they talked about that. And Uber says we have live data. Dara Khosrowshahi said that. We have live data, literally live data of all our metrics of demand, supply, all that stuff that's going on. He goes, we're not seeing it. That's why stock went up 11% to 65. He says, but we're definitely looking out for it. And believe me, they have probably 300 economists working there, scouring numbers and looking at everything. So the recession whammy, well, the recession whammy is going to hurt the drivers. Why? The existing drivers anyway, because if the recession hits and unemployment goes up, what do people do? They're going to get into rideshare or food delivery. There's going to be more drivers, not as if we need another hole in the head. Dwayne Adams says they want drivers that do it part-time. They know that, yes, and I mean, look, this is not a full-time gig these days, okay? I mean, 2016, when I started, man, you could drive 40 hours, gross $3,000, easy money, shits and giggles. Things have changed. Those are in the past. We can't look into the past. Are there some drivers that I know in the Boston market, some different markets, that are still pulling in $2,000, $3,000? Like my Boston driver just sent me his numbers. Gross $1,300 on Uber and $1,700 on Lyft, $3K gross in Boston. But the guy works 70 hours a week. I mean, if you work 70 hours a week, you're going to get there. If you don't, then you don't. How can it be stopped? Illegal drivers. We've been putting a lot of stuff into the media. It cannot be stopped. I mean, look, our borders are open. People are just walking in, and the first thing they do is get a driver's license and start driving Uber and Lyft. Big problem. Okay, NFL season is coming back. True. Well, in-person interviews is not going to work. Imagine 4 million in-person interviews in Uber's case. However, in where Massachusetts. He's Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Todd is. Massachusetts has the best market in the country at the moment. We're going to find out how it changes on August 15th because the 32 per active hour guarantee is coming in. I hope, Todd, that it doesn't hurt you. That I think it will. But here's the deal. Massachusetts has 2 background checks, not 1. So all these illegals will not go through it, right? And then the other thing is they also have 2 car inspections. I mean, very stringent. So you have the checker background check or whatever they use these days, right? But then the state also does another background check. So all these, people with driving records, bad driving records and stuff, they don't do. Like last year, I think 9,000 people were turned back during the second background check. So that's why Boston in general, but Massachusetts in general, is a very balanced market, and people make money, more money than anywhere else in the country at the moment. Okay. Jimmy Tanner says, why did Uber change the reservation from day before to on the go? Not good for riders. Yes, if you're a rider. Look, as a rider, you can reserve, I think, up to an hour before your trip. As a driver, we know what the downside is, right? You got to log on 40 minutes before. Hopefully the app is going to take you there, but they never offer your trips. And then now what I'm hearing is on a lot of reservations. First of all, I haven't seen a reservation in LA on my account for 6 months now. That's definitely for having low acceptance rate. I don't think I'm in single digits, but I'm pretty low. So that's what they're doing. They're feeding the reservations to their aunts, which is, I guess that's what it is. But yeah, I haven't seen a reservation, man, forever now. Why is CHS Airport? What is CHS Airport? Is it Charleston? Queue full of cars with no rideshare stickers. Yeah, nobody puts those things anymore. I mean, who knows what's happening, right? So this guy here is spamming. He says quit. Okay, do you have anything better to say, man? I mean, you ain't no genius by saying quit, get a job. I hope. See, it's the same idiot who just keeps spamming the board. Have you found a job? Email me, sergio@theridechairguy.com. Anyway, so I'm not going to put his comments up anymore because it's just spamming this stupid board. Okay, here's a comment. James L says he has to increase his bid 40% on the materials, not on labor. Only not labor. Exactly. Because he has to also increase it on labor. Why? His own living costs, right? His rent or his mortgage or his home insurance has gone up, so he has to adjust for that as well. He has living expenses too. We all have living expenses besides our cars, by the way. We're not living in our cars. Brian Orlando says, with Uber, our independent contractor means we can come and go as we want, getting rides. Other than that, yeah, exactly. They control both sides of the marketplace, right? We know that. Damian Wade says, maybe people are driving for the same reason that you feel you have to keep posting telling drivers to leave. Look, man, we're all adults, right? A lot of us drive for many different reasons. Everybody has their own reasons. Maybe you're talking to the other schmuck, but if you're talking to me, I'm an honest person. I always tell you guys, have an honest talk with yourself. Have a reality check. Is this the only thing you can do? If not, then definitely, to look elsewhere. Keep posting. Yeah, I think you were talking to the other guy, but the other guy is gone. I'm going to block him in a second. Okay. What do you think about the MA ballot question to unionize now that they have? It's not going to work. I've spoken to Uber about this. This is not rocket science. I hope it works. I mean, look, it's another way of bringing him back to the table if there is a table. So there is thresholds that I think is 12.5%. But you know better than me. You're in Massachusetts. I hope enough people vote, and I hope they bring Uber back to the table. David Nichols says, what you just described, okay, with bids is how InDrive works. Passenger offers price, multiple drivers respond with an offer. Yeah, exactly. InDrive is another company that's in Miami only, but they're about to expand. I'm in talks with them, so I will let you guys know. The pay I think is pretty similar, maybe a little bit better, but then you have a chance to go back and forth. It's like a negotiation with the rider, right? I think it's a better system, and it's not slow as you guys think it is. That will never happen, Brian Orlando. We should be allowed. We were allowed in LA in California anyway, when they passed AB5, we were all employees, and we had our multiplier. We can set the multiplier. I mean, we had a rate card, meaning like 60/21, but then I could put in the multiplier myself, like 1.5, 2x, whatever, so we had a chance, but then they passed Prop 22 and killed all that. This is 100% correct. SF Uber driver, there is no cherry picking anymore. Yeah, SF is still reasonably good, probably one of the better areas in California. Okay, so I'm gonna serve, with all due respect, Abizi or whatever. You're in timeout. You're bye-bye. He lied. Who lied? When you guys put these up, I don't know, DK lied? Maybe. Mike Smith. Yeah, exactly. Mike Smith is responding to the guy I just blocked. Have you quit? They're knuckleheads, bro. You can't pay attention to every knucklehead. I'm used to it by now. I'm on the internet and people come at me from all angles. There is only just, yeah. Well, okay. See, this is where I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to play the devil's advocate, okay? Send in the hate mail after the show. Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to we do this something called Behind the Wheel series. Okay, let's do some business, actually. Please go sign up to our newsletter, www.therideshareguy.com. I write in that newsletter. It's free, right? You subscribe, and then we'll automatically send you those. We've been talking about Octopus for the last, I don't know, 6 weeks now. We have a link below. Free money. They send you the tablet. We just talked about a driver last week that he earned $950 or close to $1,000 in a single year with no cost, extra cash. We all have to look into these, sources of extra income. Okay, so stock's going up. Okay, stock was $23 a share, then it went to 80 in about a year and a half, right? You could have bought the stock. Why didn't you? I mean, if you guys think you're all getting screwed, why don't you just participate? Is it like it's not unethical? It's not illegal, right? I mean, you can buy the stock, right? And then you can make some extra money. You can come up with your shortfall of the 40% in earnings, maybe buying the stock because stock has gone up 300%. You could all do that. I'm telling you. All right. BJ Davis says, "Hey, Joe, what's up, Chris? So I'm in Chicago, and I'm most definitely cherry picked. But now, when they give you a surge price, yes, surge as under upfront fares. I agree with BJ Davis. Surge under upfront fares has become fair replacement. So what did they do? We've proven this. We have some amazing content coming up middle of August, by the way, guys. I can't say exactly what it is because it was with another massive channel, but we did a collaboration. I'm sure it's going to do extremely well. So when you guys in the old days, okay, 10 mile, 30-minute trip, no surge, base fare would be $20, let's say. All right, you do the trip, $20 gross in half an hour, driving 10 miles. Cool. Now, what they will do, the upfront fares will do, is that you're in the middle of a surge. Let's say you get this $5 sticky, right? So next trip, $5 extra. It says $5 extra. Cool. So let's assume you got the same trip again. 10 minutes, 10 miles, 30 minutes. Well, it should be what? $20 plus the 5, right? No. What did upfront fares do when upfront fares showed up? That trip will still come in at $20. And it will say $5 surge included. So what the algorithm is doing? It's putting in the surge, but it's lowering the base fare to 15. So 5 plus 15 is 20 now. It's combined now. That's why I call all these things now, boost, surge, all these things, fare replacement. Because the algorithm juggles the base fare in a way, like if you have very high surge, it lowers the base fare to the floor. And if there is no surge, then it just gives you whatever it's going to give you. So 100%. Alicia Mayhan says the price is less than half. Not for the rider. Actually, for the rider, it's probably like 40% more. For the driver, I don't think it's half, but it's pretty close, especially without incentives. Um, okay, am I back? God damn it. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. My internet is going conking out. Okay, this is a good comment. Demand rate card back, cap on numbers. Yes, we demand rate card back. How do we demand that? How do we get that? I don't know. They own the apps. They run the show. That's why we're not independent contractors, people. We're not. I know we had a little internet glitch. So demand the rate card back, cap on numbers. We can't put cap on numbers unless you go through legislation. And then, that takes forever with their lobbying power. Never going to happen. Look, man, look at what's happening in the country. We have open borders. People are coming in by the millions. And the only thing they can do is what? Either do food delivery on a fake illegal account or a rideshare. Is it safe for the riders? No, of course not. But the companies don't give a shit. So we can't do either one. Demand the rate card back. Demands don't work with these companies. Haven't you guys figured that out yet? Yeah, this is interesting. Damian Wade says, how can they get away with adding routers to the rideshare feature without telling you where they're going? Not sure about that question. Yes, thank you, Joanne McGoldrick. I've been leaving the trash for others. Thank you so much. Join the CPU. Government. Okay, government can't fix much for you. I mean, go to my finance channel. I talk a lot about the government there. What has the government done for you lately? Not lately, forever. I mean, Aaron Bertoni says Phoenix, Arizona has its own rideshare. Its name is Hum. Yeah, I heard about Hum. If it's working out, great. If you can get off the hamster wheel, great. Here's Zane. Zane says, I quit driving in February, but still love listening to you guys. Well, thank you, man. Thank you much. I appreciate it. It's always there for you, by the way. Take a break. Take a load off. If you can do something and sustain yourself, don't make rideshare be all end all. I mean, come on. There are supposedly jobs out there that pay you the same thing, and then you don't put all the miles on your back and on your car. I talk reality here. And then same thing on my, finance YouTube channel. It's reality, man. I said market's going to crash for 2 months, and then sure enough, market crashed. Now I made shit ton of money. If you guys were listening to me, you would have made some money, and you better have gotten off rideshare probably. It's at Sergio Avidian on YouTube. I hope one day there will be a change. Yeah, Zane, the trend is not your friend, Zane. Okay? The trend on earnings has been down. Car quality has gone down. Driver quality has gone down. Rider quality has gone down. It's just not good at the moment. Almost done designing an app, so verify your fare is fair. I don't know about fare. That came and went with the professor, I think. I don't talk about things that don't mean much to me. Yes, it's Lindy. Yes, drivers coast to coast. Amazing spaces, spaces on X, Twitter, X, now X. I do join quite often, so please, every Monday, I think it's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. They're veteran drivers. They know exactly what they're talking about. You guys will learn a lot. Go check it out. Okay, here we go. The Lucid experience. My pay hasn't been bad. Great. I've been diligent on the days I did it the most, primarily Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Great. So Lucid experience. Send me an email, sergio@therideshareguy.com. Let's do an interview with you on Behind the Wheel. Because on Behind the Wheels, I put my $200,000 a year Boston driver, Jeff, all these people who love what they're doing. Look, rideshare is cool. I mean, you meet new people, you drive. I wish the pay was decent, but it is what it is. So see, there's one guy that's making the same money or not bad. Again, compared to what? I don't know. Yeah, I heard about that Hum, and then that's the same thing with rides, and it's the same thing with Y-Ride. that I am the PR person for. Why Ride is coming to LA, people. If you're in LA, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I'll listen for a laugh once in a while. Your investment channel is great. Thank you. Why bother listening? Yeah. Okay. Asian SF driver here. Okay. Welcome to the show. Okay. I still watch. David Nichols says, I'm waiting for David Risher after the earnings, I'm hoping. I actually have a meeting with them on Thursday. Hopefully we'll get a date then. Yeah, look, driver pay is something that we can hit our head to the walls, and I don't know. DeVoe says, with Dara Khosrowshahi's picture, that's funny. And Dara likes doing these things, these hand gestures. I'm down to part-time, and I get really good reservation trips. Here you go. Boom. There you go. There you go. Vinny Cause, hope you're feeling better. Yeah, yeah, sure. Next time, buddy. Next time. Homepage Joe's okay. I got that part. Why do I need a lot of help? Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. 1 month in, go check on their YouTube channel. Go check the town hall I did for them. We're gonna go places. We need patience, though. Baby. We need to walk first. But I think the idea is great. In the game, it says we were Bigfoot tours. Yeah, they didn't put that in the app yet, right? Did they? Bigfoot tours. Mike Smith says, I think he's from Florida, you can still make decent money on reasonable hours and miles you learn to convert private clients. Okay, that's a completely different story, Mike Smith. Private trips is something that you need to be careful of. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of people do it, friends and family. That friend and family will become your biggest enemy in case you get in a crash. So make sure you have your shit covered. Sergio, even if you don't move with an EV, does it still cost? Yeah. On a 3-4-year-old car, okay, the $7 an hour includes everything, William. Okay. Well, you have to figure out your financing costs. You have to figure out your monthly payment. You have to figure out your insurance. You have to figure out your charging costs if you were an EV. But in a gas car, you have to figure out your fixed cost, variable costs. Fixed costs are, amortize all of it. Tires, oil changes, frequent oil changes, all the maintenance that you're doing, right? Let's say fixed cost, let's put insurance in there. What has happened to, it's not fixed cost anymore. Our insurance premiums have gone through the roof, right? I mean, we have to have insurance. So those are the fixed costs. Variable costs, gas, goes up and down. That's why it's called a variable cost. Depreciation is a fixed cost, right? If you figure all those out, yeah, it's $7 an hour. Okay, DeVos says the only way to do it is to have a used EV and be able to charge on the cheap. There are options. Yes. I mean, I think EVs are perfect for rideshare. Like, Hertz is getting rid of 100,000 EVs that they bought. They figured, we're going to rent it to rideshare drivers, but then they didn't know that the rideshare drivers abused the shit out of these cars. And then now they're selling it. You can really get a good, decent EV with like 50, 60,000 miles on it from Hertz for like 20 grand now, like a Tesla Model 3, 20, maybe 25 grand. And no maintenance. I mean, very low maintenance, not no maintenance, but the tires wore out on those things faster because of the weight. But I think there's a good exchange there. Kuber, let's see what Kuber says. During the call, Dara said Uber used incentives. Yes. Okay, well, see, he listened to it. Good for you, Kuber. He also said, did you listen to right at the end? Did you listen to what he said? He says the incentives that they're not paying to the drivers could go in a bucket to acquire more riders, meaning discounts for riders. So they have this bucket of bonuses. Let's say they're going to spend $5 billion a year on incentives. What they do is their data, they have such asymmetric data advantage. They have live data going everywhere that they can shuffle these incentives anywhere they went, from the driver pockets to the rider pockets, back to the driver pockets. So they are on the fly running this business with amazing machine learning, AI, and algorithms. And Kuber did listen to the conference call. Congratulations. What's up? What's up, Gary? Gary Middleton. Amazing app. If you guys don't have it, I mean, it's number one's for safety. So it figures out with your filters what kind of trips you're looking for, dollars per mile, dollars per hour. Yeah, I did that, and the bank said you're foreclosed. Great question. Mark Jaramillo says, why do people keep driving? Good question. Why are you all driving? If it's so bad, if none of you are, profitable or making enough money to survive, why are there 7 million people driving? One, here's my answer to Mark. One, there is still some value in flexibility. There definitely is. In what world you can have a job, a W-2, right, regular gig, that you go to your boss and go, oh, by the way, I just feel like working 2 hours today. In what world? And make something in those 2 hours. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. So that's one. That's the number one. The other one is a lot of people, retired, right? They don't want to fight with the wife. They're just out there trying to make extra cash because the retirement that they're getting from the government is not enough. The other one, the last one, is macroeconomic conditions. So you guys want to talk finance? This is how it works. Macroeconomic conditions means people's actual W-2s are not enough to keep pace with inflation to pay for the expenses that they have in life. That's why by the millions they're driving to make ends meet. So I gave you 3 reasons. And then there are some people who are addicted, like gambling. I mean, you got to admit, guys, this is an addicting thing. You got to admit, not a day goes by that I don't check both apps. So is it surging? Like I'm like a Pavlov's dog, right? I probably have Stockholm syndrome. Like, they're like, I'm like their captive. So they take me hostage, but then like 6 months later, I want to marry my hostage. That's the Stockholm syndrome. But I'm definitely like Pavlov's dog. I'd be eating somewhere with my family in a restaurant, and then there'll be an Uber Eats driver they'll get a ping. I go like, I'll look at my phone, like, is it my phone? Look, there's addictive, things in this as well. And look, obviously, money. Most people do it for the money. They need to put food on the table. They need to pay rent. They need to put a roof on their head, right? So I'm like, that's it. That's why people drive. And people Uber put in $16.9 billion in drivers' pockets this last quarter. Thank you. All right. Okay, here we go. Todd is, by the way, an amazing driver with a IT background. He knows his numbers to the penny. 2000, see, this is a perfect car right here. Right here. My 2018 Honda CR-V Ice is 40 cents per mile to operate and runs about 5 to 7 per hour depending on utilization. Take Todd's word. 1,000,000% correct. And that's on a 2018 Honda CR-V. Think about it. So when you do get that long trip at 50 cents a mile, don't take it. You're losing money. If you take the 40 out, what are you left with? You're driving for a dime a mile? Don't do it. Net profit. Revenue minus cost. Figure it out. Todd is 100% correct. Okay, here we go. David Nichols. The way to do it on Lyft is okay. Those are the only rides that pay anything worth taking. Yes and no. Depends. I mean, look, if you set an area filter in a rural area, what do you think you're going to do, David Nichols? Do you think you're going to get trips? No. Yeah, longer rides are crap. We know that. But look, area filter has its ways. Like, okay, area filter, how do you use the area filter? How I use it is like if I'm in a surge area, I put the 5-mile area filter, not 10-mile, because 10-mile will send you all over the place. Put the shortest one, which is 5 miles. Give my back like to Santa Monica, to the Pacific Ocean. So I get rid of half that circle as well. So make sure like your back is in a mountain or something. So you're just eliminating and you're just kind of condensed in an area doing short surge trips. That's one way to do it. This is one of the better videos. Information was great. You did great presenting information. Well, thank you, sir. I think I've got this gig down. Thrive to greatness. I think I'm going to do this more often. You guys want me to do this more often? No? Oh, here's my partner. Would any politician step up and turn to help? No, they will not. In fact, let's talk a little bit about that. Do you guys know who Tony West is? Tony West is the chief legal officer who's responsible for all these Proposition 22 clones around the country. So he left his job. He's taking a leave of absence as of August 18th. And guess what he's going to do? You know who his sister-in-law is? Kamala Harris, the next presidential Democratic candidate. He's taking an unpaid leave of absence to help his sister-in-law to become president. So do you think politicians are going to give a shit about drivers? Omar Guido? Don't think so. And here he is, my partner in crime, with the, I'm watching you. I am your father. I think it's going well, Chris. I agree with that 100%. Media's crap. Sergio. Okay, let's see what this one. Devo Meister says. The bet should stop offering comfort EUV. Okay, if you say so. I don't know about the bet, but yeah, they have comfort EV, electric comfort. Okay. I got rid of it. Okay, that guy's gone. He's gone. He's just a burned out driver who just talks shit. Yeah, we put people away. We put them in YouTube purgatory. Well, I don't do it often. I do like once every 15 shows probably. The statesman should tell us clearly our P1, P2, P. I think this is a great idea. I'm going to run it by them on Thursday by Lyft. Actually, Lyft does a good job. Uber does not do a good job. Uber only puts you online hour. But then they talk about active hour when they talk about national average pay. Why not? Just put it in there. You're a technology company, supposedly. How difficult is that? You know when I turn the app on. You know when I turn it off. That's online hour. You know when I accepted the trip. You know when I picked up the customer or rider. That's P2. And you know how long the rider was in my car to the destination and drop off and slide it over to end trip. That's P3. They could do that easily, but they won't do it. Exactly, Rich. Exactly. Okay, don't pay attention to that guy. Who's this? Alexander Williams. Hey, you have good info. Thumbs up. Thank you. By the way, can you guys put a thumbs up before you leave? There are like 300 of you here, I think. Can you guys put a thumbs up? Just for the algorithm. Chris says I think it works, but he says it works. Don't let frustrated drivers on here get you worked up. No, I don't get worked up, bro. I'm a fair person. I think I'm reasonably intelligent. I'm really good at math. So when I figure these things out, right, I get worked up once in a while. But then I am surrounded with negativity. Okay, I get like 1,500 emails a week. How many of them are positive? Say, Sergio, I love Uber. I make so much money doing Uber. How many of those do you think I get? One, from Jeff, from South Carolina. And two, the other dude down in San Diego, with his minivan called Dara. Everything else is like negativity. So I'm surrounded with negativity. So I'm kind of suffocating. But then I try to figure it out. Like I'm like an oncologist. Like I cannot get too emotionally attached. I want to get emotional. I can't, because otherwise I'm going to have a heart attack one of these days. And I really do good work behind the scenes. I really do. You guys don't know 10% of what I'm doing. And then once in a while it gets to me though. So I appreciate the comment though. Alexander Williams says, don't let the frustrated. Yeah, they're all frustrated. Yes. See, we all drive for different reasons. And, but somehow we keep coming back to it. There must be something good about it. Upfront fares really sink your. Yes. I have information on that, actually. Yes, I have information on that which I cannot share, but you are so close to the information I have. That's the hint I'm going to give you, Sally Sky. She is very close to what I know. All right, there we go. Boom. Okay, Adam Griffin got the diamond reward yesterday. Thumbs up, but Instant Pay has. Okay, that's okay. At least you got it. Okay, Adam Griffin, it's only one time. One. Please don't do it again. Even Uber sends you, which they did last time, but they made good on their promise and they sent the payments. It cost them tens of millions of dollars. I know that for a fact. Don't do it again. Don't just, that was a one-time thing. In Orlando, Florida here. Yes. InDrive is coming to Orlando shortly. Check it out. Okay. Refer 17 riders, only got one. Okay. Okay, SF driver. My email is sergio@yride.com. You can send me those. If you referred 17 riders, we're going to have other things that you guys can do, by the way. The rider has to take a trip for you to get the $5 referral. Okay. It's not like because you referred, you're going to get the 5 automatically. They have to take a trip. Get it? Okay. But I appreciate the 17. So first of all, SF driver, God damn this internet, present some business cards to your, riders, Y-Ride riders. Be your own bucks as well. My internet is conking out again. I can see. Okay. You used to be able to make 1400 to 2000 a week, easy within 5 calls at 100. I don't know about that. Those days are gone. You drive early in the morning from 4 a.m. to 9. You can make quick 200. Yes, you could. You could have. And there are some days that you still could, probably if you do a couple of airport reservations, 5 a.m., things like that. You could get close, not to 200, probably to like $150, maybe $120 to $150. And Benjamin Rodriguez says, I drive at night after work. There you go. That's it. See? This is it. Side hustle. Paul Luna says, hello. Okay. This is a tough job. DeVoe says, when are we getting the illegals drivers? We can't. How are we going to do that? If the companies don't do it, how am I supposed to do that? The way the companies can do that is, number one, ask for Face ID verification every maybe 3 hours. I'm game for that. Hector Del Valle, I work for this. There you go, Hector. For Disney full-time and part-time in the weekend as well. Intercity officially landed in Orlando. Okay, cool. See, he works for Disney full-time. Work for Disney company? Awesome. You have a W-2 you can depend on, and then you do rideshare on the side. Wonderful. Man, I missed this weekend SummerSlam baseball comedy. Okay, I'm deactivated. I know. That's horrible. Adam Griffin says, I've gotten $5 ride in Orlando. That's 12 miles a 30. Yeah, that's called decline garbage. There you go. Okay, period. Okay, here's a good comment. David Nichols, my employer gave us 50% increase over 2 years. Nice to, yeah, there you go. About how many W-2s are in your shoes, David Nichols? Think about it. Didn't accept that junk. Good for you, Adam. Yes, it is. Tommy Felton, good evening. This seems like a new person watching. Good evening. We have ghost surgeons at Atlanta. It doesn't show the surgeon in the area, absolutely. There's ghost surgeons on the rider. It only shows up when the ride comes through. Yeah, those are hidden surges. You have to be really, really diligent with those. We talked about that on the channel a couple times before. So if a trip comes in that you go like, holy shit, I can't believe it pays that much, first of all, accept it. Because that's when, those are the trips, Tommy Felton, that Uber ripped, I'm talking ripped a new one to the rider so good that the algo decides I'm going to share it with Tommy. I'm going to share the wealth 50% at least with Tommy. And those are the chips that do show up. Those are called hidden surges, right? Because you don't know what the rider is paying, but when the rider like gets ripped a good one, Uber goes, okay, we'll just pay half of it to the driver. So yes, they do. So yeah, those are hidden surges. Love those. You can't believe your eyes. You have 10 seconds. You go like, oh, is this really paying this much? You go like, oh my God. Yeah, sure. Yeah, accept. Okay, see, this is a problem. Clark Stewart says we don't have, a lot. Well, not a lot. Like rural towns or cities, rural, they don't have upfront because nobody will pick up somebody 20 miles away, right? But then oddly enough, like I'm in LA County, west of me is a county called Ventura County, right? So Ventura County is a busy county. They don't have upfront fares. They still have the rate card. And the county after that is Santa Barbara County. They have upfront fares. So Ventura County, for some reason, they decided we're not going to have upfront fares. Like, I think New Jersey, or no, New York State just got upfront fares on Uber, like Long Island and places like that. So I heard that they're getting it. So yeah, a lot of places still don't. Like our sunshine man Jeff drives in South Carolina. He lives in Myrtle Beach, but drives in Charleston. Myrtle Beach to Charleston is probably 80, 90 miles. So in Myrtle Beach, there's no upfront fares. But in Charleston, there is upfront fares. I don't know how Uber decides on these goofy things that they do. Hector says, yes, definitely. Orlando is a horrible market. Absolute garbage. That's because of the illegal immigrants driving as well. This is a good one. Multiple. Joe Wilson says, well, not only that, but I think if a rider, okay, is in the car and adds a stop while they're in the car, the driver should have the right to decline that. I think that easily could be done in the app. The driver should have the first right of refusal to do that because I'm an independent contractor. What if that's my last trip? What if the ride you added is going to take me 30 miles from where I'm at? Well, we should have a say in that, but of course we won't. But I'm trying to push that as much as I can. Benjamin Rodriguez, yes, SoFi. Yeah, you can make $100, but please don't go to the pickup lot, okay? Where is Mr. Gambit, top sniper in LA? Check with him. Please don't go to the pickup lot. You will get stuck there forever. You will do one trip with Surge. Stay in the okay. If you guys are going to do these kind of things, here's a tidbit. If you're going to do pickups at concerts and stuff, don't go to the Uber lot. You can't get in, you can't get out. That's like the Roach Motel. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to be in the outskirts. Outskirts surges as much or more than inside. And call your rider. Okay. Be nice to them and say, sir, madam, if I get in there, we're never going to get out. It's going to take us 45 minutes and we'll burn gas. Why don't you just walk to me like a quarter of a mile? We'll be in and out of there. By the time, if I pick you up in the lot versus outside, you'll be home already. So, be nice to your rider and explain the situation to them so you don't get stuck and they don't get stuck. And they don't pay through the roof. They'll still pay surge, though. What's this one? Levo Meister says, does anyone use earning trends charts? Are they accurate? No, I don't know what that means. There is no earnings trend. Well, I mean, there is, but that's for the other channel, not this one. Oh, Chinchilla Derby says, I had a ride where a rider didn't put a destination aside for, yes, there are some riders like that. The riders think they slick and change the trip stop. Yep, there are some riders like that. They just go, they don't, but then you know what? Those trips will come in with a surge, with a multiplier, by the way. So they're not half as bad. The other thing, by the way, you guys need to be, this is important point, actually. Good point, Chinchilla X Derby. People who are going to carjack, okay, also do that. They don't put destination. Seriously, I'm not joking. And lastly, if they're going to carjack you, what they'll do is they'll put like a pickup and the drop off will be like a half a block away. So please pay attention to your pickup and drop off. Don't be gullible. And definitely have a display right dash cam. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Looking forward to how Minneapolis payments change December 1. Yeah. That's not a $1.28 mile guarantee, sir. I think you need to study that, DMZ Raider. We talked about that. Go check out the previous content on the channel. I talked about it. There's a minimum that they established. Unfortunately, the minimum they established happens to be the maximum as well. I'm jealous now, Devo. You have low AR and get reservations? Shit. Pissed off now, actually. Sergio, does our... Yes, they do. Not Austin is pretty bad, but then 10%, let's say. Bottom 10%. Yes, they're cutting those too. For a fact, that's a fact. Yeah, school is starting. Public schools are starting in LA County anyway, next week, I think, or late this week. So all the teachers, all the students, all the college kids who are driving are going to get off the market. So we may get some action. We may get demand back. Okay, Todd says the car inspection wasn't quite what you think. Okay, correct me. The yearly safety inspection doesn't look at the interior exterior condition. TNC is just interior, so car looks dead but nice interior. Okay, good point. But the background check eliminates thousands of drivers. The dual background check, Todd, that's a fact. Tahoe King says recession started and are more drivers. Yes, that's what Dara said today. Listen to the conference call. Go to Uber's website, investor relations. What about Harris selecting Waltz as a VP? Waltz seems like a nice grandfatherly kind of a type. Harris' cousin, I don't know anything about the man, so don't take my word for it. Harris' cousin, Tony West, and Waltz vetoed Well, yes, I just said Tony West is taking a leave of absence to help Kamala Harris, his sister-in-law, on the campaign trail. I have a bet, actually. If Kamala Harris wins the election, I'll bet Tony West will be in the cabinet. He will leave Uber. Okay, a few more. Uber has the nerve to try to send you Midway, which is Chicago, right? For $12, charging the passengers $36. Go to O'Hare 18, charging them $6. Yeah, that's it. But then there are good ones in there, BJ Davis. Thank you, sir. My background is Pacific Palisades. This is it's not live, but it's real. At Pacific Palisades. Okay. Chinchilla. Okay. What criteria would you use to price a private ride? Okay, see, you're putting me in hot waters now. Primarily airport drop-offs. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. You can email me. I'll tell you what criteria, because look, man, there are a couple other channels that talk about private trips, this and that. Okay, look, if you have nothing to lose, by all means, friends and family, knock yourself out. If you have a house to protect, if you have a bank account to protect, if you have a family to protect, you do these trips. You get in one single fender bender, that's going to be your nightmare for the rest of your life. So it's up to you. If you got nothing to lose, by all means. And if you're going to price it, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I'll let you know. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's jump through. Yeah, this is a good comment. Benjamin says, well, yeah, they're not, because their fares have gone up. You guys can also follow that data. Yipit data, I follow. Rider fares have gone up 60-70% nationwide since 2019. So that's why they're not tipping. Well, not as much, but then a lot of drivers do get decent tips though. Okay. Hey, Sean Chilik. How you doing, sir? See, this guy has his own small business, and he also drives part-time. And actually, I'm going to email you, Sean. Okay, there's a comment. Virgil Torres says, make me sick every time Uber celebrates their earnings while they continue paying less. Yes, that's their business model, sir. This is business model. I mean, charge as much as you can and then pay as little as you can. That's how the business is built, on the backs, tears, blood, sweat of drivers, and they don't all. It's the only zero asset or low asset business model on the planet. It's not even their cars. They don't own anything. They don't even own the service, probably. Chuck Best says, I'm almost done with that app that cracks the algo. Oh, yes, by all means, Chuck Best. Crack the algo. Yes, by all means, sir. But fare replacement is fair to the crazy driver. Sorry, what can you do? Hey, thank you for the super chat. Will we have P1, P2, P3 anytime? I don't know what that means. Yeah, there is P1, P2, P3, and P0. Yes, that's correct, David Nichols. Lyft's algorithm has figured out how to make the 70 minimum. Yeah, you could have been at 85. Now the algo has just kind of pegging everybody at 70-30. No, Chris. Chris is on vacation before he has his third child. Okay, let's talk about octopus. Big man on campus says, I had play octopus in my car for the first month this month and made there. Okay, go down in the maybe not on this link. Go to last week's show because I put up the show together. I have no idea what I'm doing because Chris is not here. At least I'm live. I'm talking to you. There you go. $50. $50 free. That's a tank of gas. There you go. Go get it. Octopus. Free money. If you guys say no to free money, say anybody says something negative about free money, I'm gonna boot them off the chat. Facts are facts, sir. 1189 Paris. What do you want me to do? Take my clothes off and do pole dance? No, it's like facts are facts, bro. I don't even want to get into that. What's a good morning beer? Holy shit. Chat's falling apart now. I was asked to link. Don't have him get on your Bluetooth. I mean, they want to play maybe music or something, but don't do that. Give him, I don't know. I mean, maybe they can. I don't know. The sad part is we need a bunch of drivers to fall off to correct pay. Okay, that's not going to happen. It doesn't look like it will. Can you talk absolute reality? Yeah, I try to stay as real as I can. If you don't like my reality, then there's other channels. Has anything been done about the scammers at major airports? No, they don't give a shit. Trips are getting done. I know what you're talking about, Richard Sites. People with like 6-8 phones, I have told Uber and Lyft that, but they don't give a shit. You know why? Because the trips are getting done ultimately. Not by you, obviously. There is a lot of shenanigans going on with a lot of, foreign apps and things like that. Yeah. Not yet, but we're gonna get to LA, then San Diego. We're in the toughest market in the country, California. If we can figure this out, like the Frank Sinatra song, if we can make it here, we can make it anywhere. I have plans. Don't worry. I refuse the referrals. Well, I mean, they're paying like $1,100, or they were $1,100 on Lyft to refer a driver. I mean, that's more money than you're going to gross a week. So might as well go refer it. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say no to that. Paul Luna says, who do I talk to apply Octopus to change my location from Fresno? That I don't know. Good question, but I don't know. But what is location? I don't know. I don't think. Well, I'm not going to open my mouth into something not factual. I guess there's support. I guess I don't know. It's a good. I don't know. Sorry, can't help you with that. Let's see. Boba says the percentage they say you have earned is always wrong. What does that mean? No. Well, no, it's not wrong. It's the way they look at it is wrong. The percentage is correct. Okay. So if a rider pays 100 and you gross 50, you get 50 out of 100. What percentage did Uber take? In my math, it's 50%. And same thing with Lyft. So Uber and Lyft go, no, it's not. We don't take 50%. I'm like, of course you did. The rider just paid 100. You took 50. I don't give a fuck what you did with that 50. You paid commercial insurance. You paid, your expenses, overpaid the employees, rent, lease, whatever. That's not my problem. I have the same cost I have the same expenses with the 50 left over. I'm not bitching to you about that, Uber, right? So what they do is they go, after expenses, that's not my problem. It's your business. Why do I have to worry about your expenses? You don't worry about my expenses, right? So they go, after external expenses, whatever's left over is what we took. That's why they look at that percent. So, for example, $100 the rider paid, Uber or Lyft took 50. We know it's 50%. Simple math. But then Uber and Lyft will go, out of that 50, 30 is external expenses. So I'm only left with 20. So 20 out of 100 is 20%. They go, we only took 20%. I'm going like, hocus pocus bullshit. But it is what it is. There you go, Erm. I quit rideshare 6 months ago, and I've never. See what I mean? We're a rideshare channel. I put a comment like that. Yes, making a living on rideshare is very difficult. At the moment, anyway. Boba says, there have been people on reservations. If you do get one, take a screenshot. I don't undo that. Working on it. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. If Richard comes on, we're going to talk a little bit about that. I've seen Tesla models. Yeah, those Hertz ones. About them, those have like 120,000 miles on it. So be careful if you're going to do that. By the way, you want to make sure you have battery in there, good battery in there. All right, and new. Oh, I don't want to read this one. I have to read it. XXX Achilles XXX. And new Tesla. Why? Okay. All right. Let's say you did. But now with pay, I don't want to put any of these packs in my new car. Okay. I'm not sure what you're saying. Awesome. And you're grossing $60 an hour. Good. What are you complaining about? I don't know. I don't think it's a complaint. Okay, cool. Good job. Excellent. All right, a few more comments. All ladies want my card for future rides. That's funny. Yeah, they always have some discounts. That's a good one. They drive because their boomer fathers tell them to pull themselves up their bootstraps. Yeah, if you're like 26-year-old and you're still living with your parents, there's something wrong with that picture. Anyone notice that when you cherry pick, you get, yeah, sure. Yes, I agree. They time you out. Quiet timeout, ghost timeout, throttle. Yeah, of course. I mean, look, if you keep declining and messing up the so-called marketplace, what do you think they're going to do? I mean, if you keep declining and reclining, well, what do you think they're going to do? Going to give you free money? No. I would do the same thing probably. Uber search feels so shady. Yeah, of course it is. It's a gamified thing. I get a $9 search for sometimes 20 minutes. Of course. Absolutely. That's what they do. The algorithm is not going to lose money, big man on campus. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to hand you free money and lose money on their back end? They used to do that quite a bit. They used to lose a lot of money on me. But the algo figured, okay, we can't keep losing money on these trips. So FYI, there is a Fight Club fix for this. I'm sure many of you know, but if you email me, I'll let you know. Big man on campus, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. There's a Fight Club fix for that. Okay, that's not true. No, that's not true. I'm being facetious. Okay. Okay, put this up. I got 35 surge for 1 mile in Malibu. Boom. Good for you. Yeah, especially if you pick up at Nobu or some shit. Those people are flushed in cash. They don't give a shit. I drive Uber Black SUV. Okay, cool. Yes, I know you, Scott, from Orange County. Is the lunch offer still standing, Scott? You're buying. I like driving because there you go. I think this is a not a good legitimate answer, but look, a lot of people like when I first started driving, it took me parts of LA that I had not been, and I've been in LA for 30 years. So that's one thing. That's number two is you meet cool people. Not every rider is an asshole. I mean, I love my riders. Yes, there you go. It's one of the best part-time jobs in the world, and it's huge. Mr. and full-time. Yes, it is. I agree, which you don't have to deal with anymore, Michael. Okay, that's a good question. We talked about this. There is like content in the past, like do a search on the YouTube search bar, cost per mile or things like that, even if you Google it on the internet, but we've done a lot of content. So you have to figure out on you, like if you're okay with spreadsheets, but it doesn't have to be like this 10-column spreadsheet, right? So for 1 week, once you figure that out for 1 week, you can figure it out. Well, first of all, gas is going to be your biggest cost, depending on how many miles you're driving. So once you figure out, let's say you bought $100 worth of gas and you did, 500 miles with it, right? Or whatever. So 50 cents a, mile is going to be that. Then every time, you know what your oil changes are and how frequent you do it. So add all those costs and divide it by the total miles you drove for that month, let's say. Then you will know your CPM, cost per mile. So that's when you're accepting trips, you decline garbage and, figure all that thing out. Cletus, the immortal one. Okay, Cletus. I drive a nice car. I seem to get canceled on by female passengers way too often. That I don't know, bro. How's your profile picture on the app? I'm not sure. I mean, that makes put a friendly profile picture maybe in the app. Yes. Yeah. There you go. See what I mean? Success. Okay. What about it? Sometimes they get sticky. It's mostly run by Checker. And sometimes there are mistakes, and your background check will take weeks as opposed to minutes. I had just one done like a couple of months ago. Literally, I said accept background check, and it was like it was done 30 seconds. But I hear a lot of problems with people who move, right? Driver's licenses from state to state, and they have some tickets going way back. Sometimes they get glitches. I do hear that happen quite often. Tahoe King says, would all love Chris, but solo is nice. Jesus fucking Christ. Chris, are you watching? You're fired. Like Donald Trump, they're fired. Okay, if Harry watches this, he's gonna make me do this. Gosh. Well, for you guys, of course. Maybe once a month we should do an extra one. Extra Show Me the Money Sergio special. Here we go. Here we go. Good catch. On Earth Treasures, 10 a.m. You started at 10 a.m. to 3? On a Tuesday on top of that? Those are terrible Tuesday. And you started once morning rush hour and depend on your city, man. Maybe you did a lot of airport trips. 5 hours, $150, $30 gross. Okay, take your 6, 7, 22, 23 net. Not too bad. Not too bad. See? It's not all bad. Why is no one looking into... Yes, I have. You must be new to the channel, Richard. The amount of shit we run here is crazy. I have sent it to Uber. Uber asked me of their head of airports I'm in touch with. I don't know what else I can do, seriously. Look, Uber is not... Okay, there's 2 rules of rideshare, people. You guys know that. I stole that from Jeff, who had a comment at the start. He said there are 2 rules of rideshare. 1, Uber and Lyft will never do anything that's not beneficial to them. Okay? And rule number 2 is look at rule number 1. Those are the rules. All right, Chair. Kevin Samara says, I wanted your opinion on this new company. No, Fair is gone, dead. No, I wouldn't touch that. It looks like, I don't know. I'm not going to say the word. I don't want to get sued. Yeah, well, I mean, look, why are we all out there, Damien? We're all out there to make money. And when we see our earnings decline for the same amount of hours, year to year to year, and for different reasons, by the way, less incentives, less surge, and our costs are going up. That's why people are salty. I don't blame people being salty. I mean, hey, I listen to 1,500 emails a week. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. I'm like, I don't know. Boba, I don't understand why FTC doesn't. I wish I could say more about this. With all the stay tuned. How about that? I'm gonna say that with FTC. Stay tuned. Sergio, you and Chris should consider doing a weekly Q&A show, nothing but Q&A. Like this? I think I can swing one of those. I don't think Chris is having his third. I think his hands are going to be full. Plus, Chris is the YouTube manager. My God. Jesus. Respect. Okay, here we go. James Bork. I'm new to Uber and starting next week. I'm renting a car to do it. Would you say... Bro, you should have asked me that before. Email me, sergio@therideshareguy.com. If you're new and if you're renting, that means you're automatically full-time. That means you're going to put in 60, 70 hours. That means you're going to pretty much take everything that they throw at you to survive. Because if you're renting an EV, let's say, which most likely you are, you're going to drive 60, 70 hours, probably pull in $1,500 after, if you know what you're doing. So watch some content before you get out there. Learn about search, learn about all these things, so you're not, and I hope you have upfront fares. I hope at least you know where you're going, because I don't know what city you're in. Good luck to you. I hope you have a dash cam, please. I mean, if you're going to drive 60, 70 hours a week, you have to have a dash cam. And what else? Yeah, I mean, it's a steep learning curve. Go if you're in a city with a Facebook group, go in there. Pick yourself a couple of mentors. Buy them a sandwich or two and talk to them. Have them teach you the ropes. That's the best thing I can tell you. Yeah, depends what airport you're talking about. LAX, definitely not. Again, you got to be more specific, too vague. Sergio, make a video about Uber background check. Okay, I can do that. Ash says, hello, Ash. I don't think I've seen you before. Actually, I probably have, but then I never pay attention to the chat when I'm doing it with Chris. I drive a luxury sedan. Okay, cool. I'm at baseball games and concerts, and I'm not getting any rides from Uber and Lyft, even when it surges now. Is my not necessarily. A lot of people are complaining about that. It's not about the car you drive. I'm sure you're a wonderful car, wonderful driver. Demand may not be there. You have to also correctly play the 3 Ps that comes from my stock trading: patience, position, and planning. You have to be careful with that. And push comes to shove. If you're not getting any trips, if you have low acceptance rate, are you getting throttled? Is that what you're saying? Potentially, possibly. But then if the demand is there, they're not going to throttle anybody. Okay. What else? Let's see. Where are these comments coming? I have no idea. I'm just answering, bro. I know they're not ending. They're coming from other newbies. Listen. It's not going to be any different for you. Okay. Okie dokie. All right. So I'm going to cut this in 2 more minutes. 2 hours I've been on? Holy shit. Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah. Comex 17. I'm afraid to log into Uber because they've logged my. Yeah. Well, if you're a second-class citizen now, as a standard driver, all you're going to get is trip radar. That's fucking bullshit. Bunch of load of shit that is. I have a problem with Sioux Falls, South Dakota. People do that. They order Uber X and then give you a package. Be careful with that. Hopefully, delivering drugs or contraband, you get pulled over. Your ass is in jail. Uber will pull their hands off of that. Be careful with that. Okay, so a few more comments. Okay, Sally Sky. I'm not going to put that negative comment out. Okay, Kuber says, I drive 7 p.m. Wow, it's a 12-hour shift, huh? Okay. Yeah, but what are you getting at 3 in the morning, bro? You're just twiddling your thumb and watching me on YouTube? I don't know. Yes, it is. Sergio, the riders will give you 1 star if you tell them to walk a quarter. Nope, they will not. Actually, they will tip you. Try it. Call them up. Be nice. Be courteous. Say, do you want to get out of here as fast as I want to get out of here? Look at this madness. Look at this traffic. You do the same thing at Coachella. You do the same thing at football games, concerts. You're not forcing them to walk. You're kindly asking them, if you come to me a little bit, I can even see you. Just walk to me so we can both get out of here fast. Trust me, it works. I've done it for 8 years. Never gotten a 1 star. You're not going to be like an asshole and say, hey, walk here. I'm not going to pick you up or some shit like that. Here's a great comment. I 100% agree. Don't do any of these trips. School season is unaccompanied minor season. Yes, it is. Do not accept unaccompanied minors. Cancel tailpipes. It's on you if you get in a crash. Uber will not cover you. Their insurance is null and void. Although they will send you ping after ping to pick up high school kids, middle school kids. Don't do it. Cancel, move on. 100% agree with that. Yes, I got those emails. I don't know what you want me to do with those. I mean, you put it on like a piece of paper and then you wrote it and I go, okay. Not sure what I can do for you, but I read it. I know about it. Oh, Sergio, did you see the new changes from Lyft about acceptance rate? Yeah. Well, no, it will go to your driving score now, which is horrible. We're going to talk about that on Thursday with Lyft, actually. Yep, I saw that. Driving score is tanking. Chalice guy says, yes, Sergio, do this more often. Okay. Sergio, less is more. Okay. Okay, these comments need to end. Where are these comments coming from? Seriously. Holy shit. Okay, I gotta end this. It's 2 hours. What? 2026? We're in 2024. How does he have a 2026? No, no, and no. Capital no. I hope you're 2016. Okay, that's a different story. Thank God I had a heart attack. 2016. Yeah, until it falls apart. Go for it. I mean, if shit breaks with that car, you're fixing, it's going to be like, it's going to cost you like 3 weekly. That's a good comment. Sally Sky says, Uber does face checks on people like me that they know is safe. Yeah, they should do it every 3 hours. Well, fake account, there's no such thing as fake account. They are renting accounts from other people, or they have stolen other people's ID in the dark web and created accounts, and those are the accounts that they're using. Right? Simple. I mean, I would do it three times a day. I do it. For Craig Battelle, super sticker, thank you. Okay, last 2 comments. I gotta go. Fight Club info should be just put out there for everyone. Just let it out, Sergio. These apps don't search hardly anymore. Well, if you know the Fight Club, you put it out there. Let me see. Let me see what the Fight Club it is. I have you have 2 minutes, Vito. Let's see what you got. Let's see if your Fight Club is close to my Fight Club. To keep the sticky surge with you. Everybody knows that. Okay. Damian Wade. Thank you, Damian, for the super chat. Yes, Frank K. 100%. Another record quarter for over off the backs of drivers. Absolutely horrible. Let's get that tip screen off the customer's app and put it on the driver's app where it belongs. Okay, I agree. No doubt. Listen to the conference call. You guys will learn a lot. And then you guys can come join me on Power Hour on Friday on my finance channel. Yes, I did, Ginger. Okay, I'm done. Keep it going, Sergio. No. What was this? Oh, Tesla. Oh, I know who you are. No. I mean, man, you know what? You know what I should do one day? How about this, guys? How about I do like a marathon live stream? Like, I don't know. I eat, I drink, I just take bathroom breaks, come back. 24-hour, 24-hour, 24-hour live stream. And we raise some funds for maybe a fallen victim of rideshare violence. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Like a telethon. Joe, you look like you're in good shape. You don't mess with me. I'll deactivate you. I know people at Uber and Lyft. I'll get you the. I'm just kidding. In a marathon? Okay, I play soccer all my life. I'm as quick as a wink from here to 5 yards out because that's soccer. You ask me to run a mile, you will have to call 911. Okay, Vito says he's in the hospital. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope you're feeling better. All right, those are it. Let's do it. Sure. I asked Chris. Let's see what he says. All right, so I think we're done. All right, guys, it was fun. Peace out. Peace out, Joe Wilson. Thank you for showing up. All right, everybody. So I lasted 2 hours. My voice is about half-ass gone. So join me on my finance channel. You guys will learn a lot. I put out some crazy good trades for you guys there. And I have a $1,000 Robinhood account that I trade for. So you don't have to have millions of dollars to do what I do. I just want to help you guys get off the, Uber tit. You know what I mean? So always invest, always learn. Even if you invest $50 a week, put it in an account, do DCA, dollar cost averaging. Market took a huge dump, good time to buy. Over years, compounding, all this good stuff. Deficits, federal government, all this good stuff I talk about on the other channel. So it's at Sergio Avidian on YouTube. It's a new channel, a couple of months old, but there's already a lot of great content, educational, informational content. I recommended a few books you guys should read, so we're at the same level. There you go. Brian says, how about a weekend one? No weekend, you guys are driving. Senator Sergio. I'm thinking about it, actually. This is not a joke, by the way. I'm thinking for running for office, but I'll let you guys know. I want to clean up the shit. All right, thumbs up, everyone. Be safe, stay healthy. That's the two most important things. Stay healthy, number one. Be safe. And I will see you guys with Chris, hopefully, next week. But I will think about doing like one extra Show Me the Money a month, doing it like this kind of super interactive thing. So much love. Be safe. Take care.